In every classroom, there are two very clear types of students. On one side, you have the visible ones, the ones who talk a lot, participate all the time, ask questions, try to stand out, and constantly seek attention from teachers and classmates. On the other side, there are those who almost go unnoticed. They speak little, don't put themselves on display, don't seek the spotlight, and don't look like the main characters of anything. But it's almost always this second group that surprises everyone when the results come out, when grades are released, when rankings appear, when approvals and achievements are announced. They're the ones at the top, and that creates confusion in the minds of those watching from the outside. The question always comes up, how did this person get there if they didn't even seem that dedicated? That's where the internal comparison starts. You study, you try hard, you take things seriously, you try to do everything right, and yet you still feel stuck in the average. You start believing the problem is lack of talent, luck, intelligence, or opportunity. But the truth is simpler and harsher. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not destiny, it's the system being applied. High-performance people don't live in improvisation. They don't operate in chaos. They build internal structures, how they think, how they study, how they organize time, how they deal with pressure, and how they behave. This script isn't about emotional motivation. It's about mental construction. It's about building a smarter, more strategic, more efficient operating system, one where you show less, waste less energy, and produce more results. The average student studies with anxiety. He studies worried, under pressure, trying to handle everything at the same time. He sees the content as a burden, as an obligation, as a race against time. The high-performance student thinks differently. He doesn't see studying as quantity. He sees it as a system. He understands that exams, assignments, and evaluations follow patterns. Teachers have styles, questions have logic, content has hierarchy and priority. Instead of simply reading and rereading material, he analyzes how the game works. He observes which topics appear most often, which types of questions repeat, how teachers structure exams, and which concepts serve as foundations for others. That's why he doesn't study to memorize. He studies to understand structures. He forces his brain to recall information, connect ideas, explain concepts in his own words, and solve problems without looking at answers. Another fundamental point is emotional control. He understands that panic destroys performance. Anxiety blocks memory, rush creates mistakes, so he learns to stay stable even when the situation isn't perfect. Even with incomplete content, he focuses on doing what's possible, and doing it well. He understands a simple rule: you don't win by trying to hold everything, you win by mastering what truly matters. There's something almost no one takes seriously, yet it destroys the performance of thousands of students every single day: the environment. It doesn't matter how strong your willpower is, how disciplined you are, or how good your plan looks. If you live inside an environment that constantly pulls you toward distraction, your performance will collapse. Your phone next to you, notifications, social media, clutter, noise, visual overload, mental stimulation, all of it drains your focus without you even noticing. The average student tries to fight distraction with willpower. The high-performance student removes distraction from the environment. He understands that focus isn't only mental, it's structural, it's physical, digital, and mental organization. He organizes his study space, reduces visual stimuli, and creates a place associated only with concentration. The brain learns through association. If you study in the same place, with the same structure, focus becomes automatic. He also understands that the phone isn't neutral. It's a machine designed to fragment attention, so he doesn't negotiate with it. He creates clear rules: screen-free time, study without notifications, focus without interruptions. Beyond that, he learns to work in deep focus blocks. He doesn't try to study for endless hours. He enters, focuses, executes, and exits. That preserves mental energy and increases learning quality. The right environment creates natural focus. Natural focus creates consistency. Consistency creates results. Whoever controls the environment controls their performance. The mind doesn't function well inside a disorganized body. When the body is tired, sedentary, and unregulated, focus drops, memory worsens, patience decreases, and discipline turns into suffering. Physical movement directly improves mental performance. Walking, light exercise, stretching, and simple activities already create real impact on mental clarity, attention, and emotional control. Beyond that, sleep, nutrition, and hydration directly affect concentration. A tired body creates a confused mind. A regulated body supports a stable mind. The high-performance student understands that taking care of the body isn't about aesthetics, it's strategy, it's foundational structure. Without energy, there is no focus. Without focus, there is no performance. It's not enough to be competent internally. The way you position yourself in the world also matters. Presence is the combination of posture, voice, eye contact, and behavior. People with presence transmit security without needing to say much. An open posture, clear speech, direct eye contact, and calm behavior create respect automatically, not through dominance, but through stability. Confidence doesn't come from personality, it comes from training. Controlled exposure creates mental adaptation. The more you practice expressing yourself, the more your brain understands that it's not a threat. You don't need to be extroverted, you need to be grounded. This is where the highest level of maturity begins. The strategic student doesn't live in reaction mode. He observes first, understands the situation, analyzes patterns, and only then acts. He doesn't waste energy trying to impress. He invests energy in internal construction, real skills, solid knowledge, emotional stability, environmental awareness, and mental preparation. He thinks through scenarios before they happen. He simulates situations, anticipates problems, and prepares responses. While others panic, he already has mental structure. He understands that real power isn't noise, it's preparation. Those who speak less, think more. Those who expose themselves less, grow stronger. Those who organize themselves better, suffer less. High performance isn't something you're born with. It's something you build over time. It comes from system, structure, organization, and consistency. From repeating the right actions until they stop feeling forced and start feeling normal. It's not about being seen all the time. It's about functioning well when it matters. People who work quietly usually create the biggest advantage. And advantage, over time, turns into results.